Not really asking, we'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get away, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out, died with my own doubts. Be free with me. Let's be free with Not looking back, eyes on the freeway, Bonnie and Clyde, a classic cliche. We're on the run, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out, died with my own doubts.
Hi everybody, I'm Alicia and welcome to my Facebook Live. So lovely to see so many of you here, and I hope that you have enjoyed the summit so far. I have my card here on my table that I created in my class in case that you can't quite remember exactly which class was mine. It is a fancy fold design and it opens out with lots of folds in it, all the way across the screen like that. It can also sit up. You can sit it up on a shelf or a mantelpiece. And I have made it with the Minte Papers Lavender Farm collection, which might be a new paper range that you may not have seen before. It actually comes from Poland, so it's sort of a European style scrapbooking paper range. Anyway, thank you all for joining me today, and it's lovely to see you all here. I do have a freebie for the people who have, for everybody who's in the summit. You can sign up to receive freebies on my website. So make sure you check that out. If you go down to the web address at www.papercraftsecrets.com.au, you can sign up for all those freebies. If you are having any trouble with the password, just send me an email and I will help you. Some people have already sent me emails about the password. So just let me know if you're having trouble accessing the freebies and I can help you. So welcome, and it's so exciting to be here. I am all the way from Australia, on the Gold Coast, Australia, and there's a couple of Australians in the summit this time, which is really exciting. My friend Therese is here, and Alice is also from Australia, so it's really good to see a couple of Aussies join the Americans for the summit. And I've got a question here from Lisa saying, do you have the basic template on your website? I actually don't have the template on my website. In the notes underneath the video in the class, I've got like a printable where everything, all the instructions are recorded. But I haven't put that on my website because this is an exclusive card that I've created for the summit. So everybody who attends the summit has access to that printable, but no one else. So it's a bit of a special one for the summit that I've created. So if you just go down to, if you go to the class and you go down, there's like a worksheet, you click on that and that will take you through all the instructions of how to create the card. It is a little bit of a different card design. We've got a question here from one of the Facebook people who were using it on Facebook. Do you have any advice on choosing paper? How many different designs from a collection do you think is best? That's a hard question. Let me think. Well, you kind of want a little bit of a variety of papers. So what I would say to that is balance it out with papers that are busier and papers that are less busy. So on the inside here, I've used the plain purple wooden paper, which sort of breaks up the busy floral papers. So I would sort of recommend, you know, using your own sort of, I mean, there's no right or wrong to this. It's completely up to you and what sort of card you want to create. But I would probably recommend sort of balancing the busier papers with the less busy so that you don't get a really cluttered look. This is the back of the card, and I went for a lot more plain through here. These are in the Minte paper range. These papers here are called scene pages because it's like a scene of a picture. So you don't need to do too much to those at all. They're quite heavily decorated as they are, and a lot of people say, I don't want to cover that pretty paper up anyway because it's already looking pretty as it is. So, you know, do I really need to add much to it? So I've tried to use, you know, like a variety of the papers. If this is the 12 by 12 collection here, you can see that there's some sort of plain papers in the collection, and then you've got a scene page. So completely different. And then there's your purple wooden page and then another scene page. So you're sort of choosing what suits your card the best. Obviously, this is the 12 by 12. So it's a lot bigger, but they do the 6 by 6 size, which fits this card perfectly. They also do like the add-on paper pad, which is more plainer paper. So this is all I've got left in mine, but yeah, like these sort of, it's typically filled up with more plainer papers. That they're the fussy cutting images, more scene pages like this. So sometimes that's easier to start with a page where it doesn't matter if you cover it up or you don't. I hope that answers your question, but really it's just completely up to you and what you want to create. There's no rules. I don't think. It's just what you feel comfortable with. Gwen says, Alicia, your card was absolutely stunning. Have you made that card with a combo of other types of paper like solid, glitter, hollow, etc.? You most certainly can. I actually made this card. I do some card making classes at home, and mainly with kids. And I've got a couple of 10-year-olds that love to create all of these cards, and they did this card with me. So if anyone hasn't had a try, please do, because my 10-year-olds made this card, not a problem at all. You can most certainly change the paper to anything that you have at home. Minte papers can be difficult to get in the US, but there is a stockist, Fran at Frantic Stamper, who has all of the Minte papers in stock for the US ladies. So if you are having trouble, if you're in the US and you are having trouble, just pop on over to Frantic Stamper. She has ordered in some papers especially for the summit, so that if anyone's having trouble getting it, then you can go to her website. If you want to use something that you've got at home, then you can most certainly replace the pattern paper with any material that you like. You could use glitter, you could use foil, you could use plain, you could use any type of pattern paper. Yeah, that's totally fine. That's not a problem at all. Most impressive pattern and cut. This is a question from Dava. Most impressive pattern and cut. Do you have tips about creating one's own cut designs, and how did you learn to do this? Dava, that's an excellent question. So if you are interested in fancy fold cards, you know, like easel cards and explosion boxes and double gatefold cards and things like that, tri-shutter cards, I think most of us generally do a YouTube search to learn those sort of things. This card is a little bit unusual, and it does sort of have a combination of the tri-shutter and the double gatefold at the front. And you know what? I just don't think there's any rules with these type of folding cards. The sky is the limit in terms of creativity. If you wanted to come up with your own fancy fold design, I think there's a huge market for that in the crafting world, because people really do enjoy these fancy cards. It's just something a little bit different. And do I have any tips for making your own design? Well, I would probably do similar to this and incorporate a couple of folds that you already know and experiment with putting them together. So this one is, like I said, the double fold plus the tri-shutter in the middle. So you could really have fun with playing around with those designs and see what you come up with. I think that's something that I would actually really like to do, is to get more involved in making cards that are a little bit different to everybody else's. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Caroline says, it is a beautiful card. The Minte paper is out of stock. Do you have any suggestions? Caroline, is that out of stock at Frantic Stamper? Have you tried Frantic Stamper? If not, can you just email me or message me and I will have a look on the internet. You could do a search, just try Minte Papers Lavender Fields collection and see what comes up in your country. Otherwise, send me a message and I will help you find a stockist for that, because there are other stockists in America, but I can't remember them off the top of my head, but I can certainly look them up for you. What time is it where you are, Alicia? Yes, it is 8:45 in the morning. So it's Monday here, Monday morning, and I actually did not sleep that well because I was sort of thinking about this, and I had my phone in the bathroom near my bed, and I could hear my email going all night. And then I had a nightmare, and I woke up at 5 o'clock. So yeah, it's a Monday morning here, and it's the start of a new week. Alicia, can you tell me more? This is artist's question. Sorry. Alicia, can you tell us more about your crafting journey and how did you get into these fancy folds? Sure. So how I got into card making was I was a primary school teacher, and one of my colleagues had a Stamping Up party, and a lot of us went, and we all were introduced to card making, and this was quite a while ago now. And I'd always sent out birthday cards before I had previously made my own. I mean, everyone sort of dabbles in it as a child, but I hadn't made my own cards until I went to the Stamping Up party, and then I sort of got introduced to card making. And then after that, the ladies that I worked with, we all got into card making, and it was a wonderful time when I worked at that school because we would share things. So we'd come to school in the morning and go, guess what I found last night on the internet? Have you seen these? And we introduced ourselves to like Copics and stamping and, all of those sort of things, and pretty papers. And those, it's actually two other ladies from that same school. We still get together today and craft. We still share that passion, and it's a big part of our friendship. And then after that, I moved away, and I started selling cards at markets and on the internet. And I was on a few design teams. I started my own blog, and I did that for a little while. And then I had my babies, and they're getting bigger now, 10 and 6. So after that, I took a little break, but not a long break. And then I got heavily into some of the design teams, and I fell in love with Minté papers and the fancy fold thing. I have a Facebook group. I don't know if you know about it. It's Papercraft Secrets, Creating with Confidence. And we started that group there was actually just three ladies, myself included. We started this group as a way to share our successes and our difficulties with crafting. And we call it Creating with Confidence because the idea is that you grow in confidence as a crafter by participating in the challenges and also just making friendships. It's a beautiful space on Facebook, and the ladies from all over the world that we support each other. And I think through that group, I started to get a feel for the fancy fold cards because I saw people doing them, and I saw that they were popular. And I just like them because they've got a bit of wow factor. So like if I gave this card to someone in real life, they'd just be like, oh my God, like how did you make that? It's that sort of wow factor that I like about the cards. And they're not really hard. Like there's a little bit of technical things with measuring and cutting, but anyone can do it. Like my little 10-year-olds have no problem following these instructions and doing it. And then they're not difficult to decorate either. If you've got some pretty papers, the papers do all the work for you. So there's not a lot of products needed either. It's just, some cardstock and some paper, your cutting board and your scoreboard, and some glue. maybe a flower or two. You know, it's quite simple. It's quite a simple technique, but it looks really impressive. And I like things that can be done quickly and easily. I like things that you can do something and you get a good result. You know, like it builds your confidence. I don't like to, because I have, you know, we all have busy lives. Because of the busyness of my life, I don't feel like I have a lot of time where I can play with my card making. So I like to do projects that are quick and easy and fun, and you feel a good result when you've done it. And that, for me, the fancy fold does that. If you give that fancy fold card to somebody, then, you know, they're really impressed that you took the time to create that sort of a card for them. And this card in particular would be really nice. It says it's a thank you card, but it could be a thank you card. It could be a wedding card. It could be a 50th birthday card. It can be anything that you need at the time. So I guess that's a little bit about my journey. Marilyn says, it's a beautiful card. How long did it take you to make it? When we did the 10-year-old class, we usually do a 2-hour class. We had it well and truly finished in 2 hours. How long did it take me to make it? I don't know. I didn't time it. I would probably allow an hour to make the card. And then, you know, depending how familiar you are with these sort of cards, maybe 1 to 2 hours should pull it up. Claudia says, I absolutely loved your card. It was so elegant. Can you put photos where you have the wall-looking squares? Would that work? Absolutely. You could certainly put photos in there. That would be lovely. Imagine that. Imagine like a 50th birthday card and you had like a photo of the family here or a photo of the person, or even like a 6-year-old birthday card, and then you had like photos of the child as they grew up, you know, like a baby, 1-year-old, 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old, or an 18th birthday card would look great. That's a fabulous idea. Yes, you can put anything there. These stickers that I've got here are quite thick. You just have to watch that your thickness is not going to be too much for the fold. That's really all you have to worry about. Your card, Gracie Lou says, your card is amazing. I love fancy fold cards and yours is the best. Thank you. Is your floral designs paper or cardstock? Good question. It's paper, but it's a thick paper. It's 250 GSM, so it is quite thick. You could use thin or thick. That's up to you. But yeah, this particular paper is quite thick. Catherine says, is there a place for us to post pics of cards we make from the summit? I would love to see everyone's versions. There certainly is. There is a Facebook group that we are all welcome to join, and people have already posted photos in that group there. Yeah, so it is a special Facebook group especially for the Card Maker Success Summit. Do you have a favorite fun fold card to make? Lisa says, do you have a favorite fun fold to make? I love easel cards because they're so easy and they look really good. I also love the triple explosion boxes and just an explosion box. On my YouTube channel, I have lots and lots of tutorials for different fun fold cards that you're more than welcome to have a look at. The link is below my class. I do tend to stick to the ones that I know because I know I can pull them off quickly. And, you know, I like the step card. I do a lot of step cards. I keep them around my craft room because it inspires me to have a go at that. Like when I give them away, I forget. I forget I can make that fun fold card. So I try to keep some around so I can look up and go, oh yeah, I can make that card, because every time you make it with different papers, it looks completely different. So you could make 5 of these cards here And every single one, if you use different papers, would look totally different. So that's the clever thing about the fun fold cards. And also, once you do it once, the next time it's a lot quicker, and the next time you just get into the pattern and it's fast and easy. So definitely repeat the set. In my advice, repeat the same design, pick 5 different papers and do 5 different cards and practice, and then you've got a whole selection of cards that you can send out and impress people with. Erin says, what is your favorite glue or adhesive? My favorite glue is an Australian glue, which I don't think you can get in the US. I don't know if you can get it in the US. You may be able to. I'm currently using, it's called Couture Creations. It's a bit hard to see. They have a couple of different glues. So that's the brand there, Couture Creations. What I like about this glue is that it doesn't make your paper warp. You know, you can use it, and when it dries, the paper dries flat. This one I use mainly just for paper, and this one I use to glue on embellishments like flowers and ribbons. This one has a better grip for embellishments. So if you're in Australia, check that glue out. If you're in America, I'm not sure how you go about getting that, but that was why I didn't actually list it in my supplies, because I'm not sure how available it is in the US. But it is really, really good glue, and I love it. The other one that I do use sometimes is Helmar, which is very similar to that one, and I think you can get that in the US. Sorry, I missed those questions. There's just a couple there. Cindy says, I have paper, but it is not thick. Would that still work? Cindy, you could try it. You really need cardstock for the base, I feel. You would need a cardboard for the base just to make sure that it's sturdy enough. But you could try it and see. I wouldn't worry too much about how thick your paper is if you're gluing the paper on, but I think for the base you definitely need a cardstock just to give it a little bit of structure. Renee says, what is your YouTube channel name? If you search Alicia McNamara, it comes up, or if you search Papercraft Secrets, it should come up as well. So yeah, everything for me is Papercraft Secrets, but I think Alicia McNamara could come up faster, but either or, yeah. So there's heaps of videos on there, lots and lots. Claudia says, after making a gorgeous card like that, how do you part with it? Especially knowing the time and love you put into it, and they might just throw it away. That would totally upset me. Claudia, I totally understand. I know. What if they throw it away? You know, one of my aunties has said to me, can't you just make a quick and easy card that we can throw out after? I don't send a lot of cards to people that aren't card makers. You know, like I send, because I do some kits on my website. So most of my cards that I make, I send to people who buy my kits. Because I know that they would appreciate them. I know some people who keep a little box of cards. I'm one of those people. You know, you get a card for your birthday, you put it in a little box in the cupboard, and then you get another box and another box. I know, like, yeah, my father-in-law, he's like that. He said, I've kept all your cards in a box. And like, I know my mom keeps all of my cards. You know, some people keep things, some people throw things out. Everybody's different. I don't worry about it. If they throw it out, I can make it again. Because I record all of my projects, I've got a video of it. So it doesn't worry me if the actual project ends up in the bin. I don't know. I don't care about it. What is my email? Okay, so my email is Alicia, So it's ALICIA dot, no dot, no dot. That's my work email. Alicia Marie, MAREE, McNamara, MCN for Nelly, AM for Mary, ARA, @gmail.com. But if you go to my website, it's right down the bottom. You can see I've got it right down the bottom, contact me. So that might be easier, but it's Alicia Marie McNamara @gmail.com.au. Please feel free to contact me if you have questions or you can't get into the free printables. So I hope that you have enjoyed the summit so far. It's always really fun to get together with crafters and craft together and learn new techniques and see the different ways people are doing things. Sometimes it can just be a new idea that gets you going again, gets your mojo going, and you get crafting again. So I hope that you have enjoyed the summit. Please follow me on YouTube or join my Facebook group, Creating with Confidence. Send me an email and we can, craft together. We can encourage each other. And I've really enjoyed, this is my second summit. I've really enjoyed meeting people through the summit and welcoming people into the Facebook group and getting to know them and sharing the crafting love all over the world. So thank you so much. And I think I am the last live for the summit, so lucky last. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope that you make my card. Have a go at it and put it on the Facebook group or email it to me because I'd love to see your work. So thank you very much, and I hope you have a lovely crafty day.